Hi everybody, it is Tuesday afternoon and I have another video I want to share with you guys. I had a lot of fun last time doing the stinging nettle video for you, and so today I want to show you another wild edible that you can find all over Whidbey Island and is very nutritious, has been used by indigenous peoples of this area for centuries. The Salish people have been using it in their food for a long time now. It's very nutritious. I think I said that already, but I want to show you that, so stay tuned and I'll give you a little tour. Okay, so what we are looking at here are Douglas Fir tips. I was very excited when I saw these because it is about that time of the year that we're going to start being able to harvest these. You can harvest these from Douglas Fir, from spruce, from true hemlocks. They are highly nutritious. They have a lot of vitamin C. They have a lot of protein. They've been traditionally used to rejuvenate energy after physical activity, and you can harvest them and use them yourselves. So how would I harvest these? Let me show you. These are the growth tips of the plants. You don't want to take too many, but I would take this bright green part right here. And this is actually edible. So it'll have a very citrusy, lemony flavor. I think they're quite tasty. They're pretty strong, but they can be used in a lot of different foods that you want to add. They can be used fresh in salads. They can be infused into tea. I'm going to show you a pretty unique recipe that I think you can do pretty easily at home with these. I need to collect about a half a cup for that recipe, so I'm going to do that right now. I have a visitor with us too. Alright, I got about a half a cup of the fir tips. You can see they are nice bright green. Let me get them in the sun here. Bright green, very young. You can still harvest them when they're larger than this, but they're at their most tender and their brightest flavor in my opinion at this point. So I'm going to take these inside and I'm going to show you a fun recipe that you can do at home. Okay, I am back inside and I'm going to show you how to make some fun Douglas Fir strawberry gummy treats. So, like I showed you with my other recipes, some advice I want to give you is before I start, I always get my ingredients ready first, and then I do my cooking. So, here I have 1/2 cup of my Douglas Fir tips that I harvested outside. Next to that, I have 1 cup of strawberries. I've removed the cores from them and the green tops. Next to that, I squeezed the juice of 2 lemons. I'm looking for about a half a cup of juice. A little bit less is okay. Here I have 2 tablespoons of honey. I'm using this to contain the honey, but I've measured out 2 tablespoons ahead of time. And I'm going to use 1 packet of gelatin. I'm going to put all of this into my food processor, blend it together, and then I'll show you the next step. Okay, one thing I like to do while I'm blending is I like to take this off and check. And I'm looking, if there's anything on the sides, I'll scrape it down. Kind of use my spatula here. Oh my gosh, this smells really good. I wish you guys could smell this. It smells like strawberries and lemons, and I can smell the Douglas Fir tips. I'm going to give this one more blend, and then I'll show you what the next step is. Put the lid back on, get it ripped. Okay, you should have a nice smooth puree. It's going to be pretty liquidy, but that's okay because remember we put the gelatin in there. I'm going to take this, and I've already prepared the pot that I'm going to cook it in, or the saucepan I'm going to cook it in, and pour that right in there. You can see the little bits of the spruce tips. Don't want the blade to go in there. Alright, I'm going to take this to the stove. I'll show you the next step.
A few moments later.
Okay, I've brought my mixture over to the stovetop. I'm going to turn the heat on. I'm going to put it on about a medium heat. There's not a lot of liquid in here, so I don't need to get it blazing hot. My goal is to get this to just barely a simmer. I'm not trying to boil it. Once I get to that point, I'm going to turn the heat off and I'm going to let it cool for a few minutes, and then I'll show you what I'm going to do with that. One thing I should also mention, I'm going to stir this occasionally because this has sugar in it between the strawberries and the honey. I don't want any of this to stick to the bottom as it's heating up, so I'm going to stir it as it heats up. Okay, we're getting pretty close. You can see the bubbles starting to form around the edges. I'm going to keep stirring. Okay, I'm going to turn it off, and I'm going to let it cool for a couple minutes. Give it one quick stir so it doesn't boil over. Alright, once that's cooled off for a couple minutes, I'll come back and show you what's the next step. Okay, this has cooled down for a few minutes, and I'm at my last step. I've got this little mini muffin tin that I'm going to use, but you could use an 8x8 cake pan, you could use a silicone mold, but anything that you want these to be poured into, because remember, we're making little gummy treats here. And so I'm going to use this little mini muffin pan that I have. I've given it the very, very lightest spray with vegetable oil just because I don't want these gummies to stick. So I'm going to pour this in. Alright, so once these are full, you're going to put them in your refrigerator. And you're going to let them cool completely in your refrigerator. So once they're cooled, you should be able to take them out, give them a try. I'll show you how mine came out when I'm done. And hopefully these came out pretty good. So start to finish from harvest all the way until now, I'd say this took about half an hour. So a pretty fun activity for kids to do, a fun activity for kids to do with their parents. And it uses an ingredient that's pretty common on the island. So enjoy. I'll show you these when they have cooled down and are ready to eat. Alright, these have been sitting in the fridge for about 6 hours now. They look great. They've solidified really nicely. Nice texture. So I will get them out of this pan and I will show you the finished product. Alright, I'll be back. I got them out of the pan. Let's give them a taste. Oh man, that's really good. It's tart from the lemon. It's got that evergreen flavor from the fir tips. Nice and sweet from the strawberries. You can see the texture. Solidified nicely in the fridge. I think you guys would be really happy with this if you gave it a try. So, give it a try. I think it's something you could do at home with your kids. It's very easy. It took me about half an hour to make and then just had this in the fridge for about 6 hours. Alright, glad to share this recipe with you guys. I hope you have a good rest of the week.